Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Photo Brew. No Peter McKinnon intro
Oh
today,
man, okay.
even though we're still drinking the coffee.
Yeah, I
But
know.
I'm starting to feel something,
Same here. I'm starting to get all like
and I'm gonna
fucking...
probably kill that. And
Go
I'm
for it,
probably not gonna
man.
sleep tonight. Salute to that.
Salute.
So
Here's to you, James Coffee Co.
yeah, we do. We need to go to San Diego. Actually,
I still need
you'll
to
love
visit.
it there. It's so good.
I still need to visit.
So I just noticed something that Manny pointed out because he watched Potato Jet's recent video about the R6, which I have to catch up on a lot of YouTube stuff. Potato Jet said that the R6 colors are a little on the warmer side, and I was just like, I haven't really noticed it on my camera.
Yeah.
But now that we're recording, because our main camera is an RP, the camera on Manny is his RP, and then the camera on me is the R6. And I see the screens from the two RPs to the R6, and those are like cooler.
Yeah.
And the colors actually look a little bit more accurate. I look warm as fuck.
Yeah.
Right now. I look like a Cheeto, which I'm probably gonna have to color correct. Thankfully, I'm wearing a white shirt.
Oh shit. But, I was gonna say something, but dare I say political?
I mean,
looking a little Trumpish right now.
Shit.
Oh man.
Shit, boy, you went there.
Sorry.
Photo news, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, we kind of nailed it in the last episode. It's just like, yeah, we got a lot of new cameras coming out. And before we were rudely interrupted by fireworks.
Yes.
I was explaining why and like how to grow your Instagram.
Uh-huh.
And so we'll start afresh with this one.
All right.
So the last episode we decided to call it random banter because that's really what it was. It's just two dudes drinking coffee.
Oh no, I'm totally gonna clickbait the title. I'm just kidding.
Banned on YouTube. Fuck. But yeah, so as Manny was what was it that you asked the last episode? Like, what was the question?
As far as Instagram followers, it's basically how did you get so many followers? It was basically how long did it take?
Oh, okay.
That's what I asked. Yeah, it was how long did it take to get as many?
To where I'm at now, I'm currently sitting at like 43.7K on Instagram, and my page that is a fucking loud ass fucking whatever the fuck that was.
We shut both windows?
I don't know. Let me see.
Oh no, that's probably why.
I didn't see it.
There's two.
Swear to God, man. That's why I want a studio in the middle of buttfuck nowhere where there's no noise.
Oh man, we'll just have it legitly soundproofed at that point.
Yeah, where you can hear your blood, but then we have to like kill our blood or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it took me a little over a year to get to where I'm at, and I kind of credit a lot of the bigger gear pages that reposted a lot of my work in the beginning, because when I started the page, it was more to take a break from my main account, which is now the new Canon dude, because I flipped the names. And I started the page with the sole purpose of just taking photos of my EOS R with my iPhone, because I saw a lot of gear photos popping up on my algorithm or on my Discover page. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. I could probably try that. And so I did. And in the first month, I had like a few hundred followers, nothing special. I was like, it's a side thing. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I wasn't posting daily or anything like that. I was just posting when I felt like it. But then more and more larger pages started reposting a lot of my work and tagging me. So all of a sudden, I had tons of people following me and commenting on the photos and messaging me questions like, hey, I have this much for budget. Like, what camera do you recommend or what lens?
Yeah, that's how I found you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're friends. That's why the Photo Brew happened.
Yeah, but I didn't do it from Instagram, though. What was weird is I did my normal YouTube search, and you were popping up on the same feeds that Peter was popping up on, which was like crazy. And
that's crazy.
So it was like I would see your videos next to Peter McKinnon's videos, and I'm like, let me see what this guy's about. And then that's when I found your Instagram, and we started talking about lenses and budgets and stuff like that. Yeah, now we're friends and we're doing all this.
It's crazy. Yeah. And I'm grateful for that experience. Like this page, I could definitely like credit this page for introducing me to a lot of new like friends and other creatives that I have connected with, and it's crazy because this is worldwide. Like, I have some other people I chat with in a separate group chat about that we call it gear syndrome, gear acquisition syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like group therapy,
Oh,
but
okay.
it really is. That's just the name. But we chit chat about stuff, and there's people in like Malaysia, there's people in
Oh,
like
wow.
Finland, and it's just crazy. I was like, I never would have thought that this page, like once it blew up, it was gonna get this much attention from people worldwide, and like
Yeah.
it's a very humbling experience. It's also really cool to see how things are in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially just because like I definitely want to travel the world someday, but obviously right now we can't because of how
Yeah.
things are. But
United States is banned.
yeah, so it's just interesting to talk to people and get like different perspectives
Yeah.
from different countries. But going back to the question, I want to say, I guess if I were to offer 3 tips in this video for Instagram like growth, I think the first one would definitely be get really niche
Mm-hmm.
or niche, or how the fuck you pronounce that word.
Yeah.
I hear both. I say niche just because it sounds like
Yeah.
itch.
Potato, potato.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you put it with a tomato, it becomes a pomado. um, but so you get really like hyper niche. So I started with cameras because I started seeing a trend on Instagram at
Mm-hmm.
the time, and I didn't want to just start posting like my regular work, like cityscapes and stuff, because that second account, which was at the time Canon, dude. Now it's D-Lo Visuals, was
Yeah.
solely for cameras, and I didn't want to like bait switch people because that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of shitty. Where it's like you get a huge following and then like, oh hey, guess what? Now I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I eventually did that, but I'll explain why in a bit. Um, so get super niche and tag relevant accounts that are similar to what you're doing. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
posting photos of cameras, tag a lot of other larger accounts that for a fact are going to repost your images
Mm-hmm.
if you use their hashtag or if you tag them, because they need content. So it's a kind of like a cycle that helps both
Yeah.
of you out. And that's why the page started blowing up. Within 4 months, I had 14,000 followers, which
Oh, wow.
I did not expect it to
Mm-hmm.
get that big, because I approached it with the mindset like, this is for fun. If it doesn't go anywhere, I really don't care, because this is just for me to take a break from my main page.
Yeah.
But obviously things didn't go that way, and now I'm sitting at 43,000 and some change. This is over a year later,
Yeah.
and because I tagged those pages, they started posting my work, and then I had people hitting me up via DMs. I had people commenting, asking me questions like, "Hey, what camera do you recommend?" And in a way, it also worked that I had the EOS R, because at the time it was the most hated camera on
Yeah.
the internet. So people seeing me enjoying using it, they're like, "Huh, like is it that bad?" As people make it seem. I was like, "No, just like go try one out for yourself, and you're gonna like it."
Yeah.
And so I think in a way that also kind of played a significant role
Yeah.
to get into the page where it's at now. Now, the reason I diversified now is because I wanted to start working with brands,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how much legal like red tape I was gonna hit if I use the name Canon
Mm-hmm.
and to make money.
Yeah.
So that's why I ended up just changing the name, and it actually worked out because now I started working with brands, and actually I just finished working with a brand a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that paid off my car.
Nice.
So I'm really grateful for that. But I diversified for that reason, and I changed the name for that reason. Diversification meaning that like I started posting other stuff like EDC content, stuff that I'm really passionate about, because
Yeah.
I just don't want to be known just for cameras. Like I want people to know the work that I'm capable of doing. And also your Instagram nowadays is kind of like your portfolio,
Mm-hmm.
for brands to look at your work and see if they like it and whatnot. I guess the next tip I would offer is offer something of value to your followers. So for me, with them asking me questions regarding cameras, I would take the time to answer a lot of DMs. I took the time to answer your DMs
Yeah.
when you hit me up. And that's what a lot of people like actually say, dude, like I actually like chatting with you because you take the time to answer a lot of the questions that I have. A lot of other people in your follow, or like I guess stature or position don't really do that.
Yeah.
And like you do get a lot of DMs. I get a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like I'll say maybe about 50 to 80 a day.
Oh wow.
Some of them are just spam, and I only respond to the ones that say what they want,
Mm-hmm.
because I get a lot of people just saying hi, hey,
Yeah.
hello. I was like, okay, what do you want? What's the
Yeah.
question you want? So if you're gonna message me,
Uh-huh.
just say what you want. Like, hey, how you doing? I have this question, XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'll respond with whatever it is that you asked, and to get a conversation started. And that's why I responded to you, because
Yeah.
you presented a straight question. It was like, hey, is this lens worth it? I'm like, yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
then now we started the photo brew.
Nice.
So, but offer value, definitely engage with your audience, talk to them, get to know them a little bit. Like, obviously don't give out personal information.
Yeah.
But get to know them. If they're in if they're in the same city as you, maybe hang out with them, go get coffee, go shoot with them, something. Just connect with people, because that's what kind of I'm grateful for the page, because at the time I didn't have a lot of photography friends.
Yeah.
Like, the ones that I did were busy, because there's some of them had kids, others had life stuff happen. I had life stuff happen. I was busy with work, so our schedules never really lined up.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the page, like, I have you, I have Adrian, I have Jaden, I have my buddy Rich over in Jersey. I have connected with tons of other photographers here in LA, a couple overseas. It's just insane how many friends I have now that are into photography, and I could talk to them whenever, or if they message me or whatever. Obviously, there's some time zones difference, but and it's all because I just took the time to talk to them via comments or on DMs.
Yeah.
So that value that they are going to interpret is like, oh, this guy's giving me his time, which time is precious, or time is money, as some people say. So they'll reward me with like a follow or anything like that. I never expect it. Like, none of the stuff that I do on the page, I expect something like, some form of compensation. Like, I do it because, like, I enjoy it. I have fun with it. And I'm grateful that I have a huge following. And I use huge, because 40K compared to like somebody that has 100K is like,
Yeah.
like chump change. But I'm grateful for it, because it's something I enjoy doing. I like talking about photography. I like talking gear, and I just like chatting with people. I'm a very social person, especially now with the lack of social interactions. It's kind of it's what's helping me stay sane during this time. So definitely get super niche, offer something of value. And the last one, I think, if I had to pick, it would definitely be consistent,
Mm-hmm.
because especially with Instagram always changing the algorithm,
Yeah.
they definitely want to see more people posting frequently. So, your photos will end up on like the Explore page, because I've had a lot of people say like, hey, I found your account through the Explore page. This is awesome. And, they'll chit chat with me about like whatever question they have about a Canon camera or X budget. But that consistency is what got me out there. So I made it a rule now where, like, and this is after my account started getting bigger,
Mm-hmm.
to post at least once a day. That's it. Doesn't matter the time. I typically like to post in the morning, just so I don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
First thing in the morning, wake up, okay, I have my post ready to go. And then
Probably why you have a lot of overseas followers as well, because I know I normally post in the morning too, because it's like I'm up before work, I have time, I'll post something. Like you said, you don't have to worry about it, and I think a lot of my followers are from overseas as well.
I think most of my followers, when I checked last time, it says that they're from India.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the top one, and then followed by the US. And then I think the next one after that, I want to say, is Mexico, followed by Canada.
Oh wow.
So I have a lot of people from India, which is cool. Like,
yeah,
I'm popping up over there.
Except that they ask you for free cameras.
Well, some
the
of them do, some of them don't. But it's just like, okay, come on.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of hard work and a lot of discipline, because, to be honest with you, I couldn't do a niche. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't just post cameras all day long,
And
because I'm just, I mean, shit, you look at my newsfeed, it's everything. Like, I just like to capture everything. So.
No, and that's fine. Like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing.
But I'm just saying, to people who actually want to grow, like you have to put in the work. Like,
for me, it was hard, because it's like, I want, like, once I started getting followers, I was like, fuck, I want to show my real work.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I was like, I can, because I kind of like dug a hole and put myself in there, with just posting cameras. So
And even now with the Switch, it's strictly business. Now you're like
yeah.
trying to work with brands, so you have to stick to that niche. You have to stick
But
to
it's
the content that you're putting
but the
out.
wide, I guess, if I were to say it's the new niche that I'm focusing on now is more product photography.
Yeah.
So I could still throw in photos of cameras because it's a product.
Yeah.
I could throw in EDC photos because it's products. I could do coffee photos because that's product photography. It
Yeah.
all kind of lines up. And even now with like me doing the whole EDC outfit of the day thing, which I'm actually enjoying that idea a lot because no one's done it before, at least that I'm aware of. It's still product photography because I'm doing like modeling for clothing, basically.
And it all kind of works in with your street. It works in with like, you got your shoes, your clothes, your outfits, your EDC, like it all kind of just goes together, your cup of coffee.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So it's like
it's all just kind of molding together now.
It's still very consistent and niche in the sense of like, it falls under the product photography category. But it also covers stuff like EDC, cameras, coffee. So there are like, I guess, smaller niches.
Yeah.
That it's like super hyper focused for those things, but it's kind of sprinkled throughout. So it's not just relying on one thing.
Yeah.
But definitely be consistent, and like it was hard, dude. Like straight up, it was hard. I was like, I want to post this, and eventually I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna post this, see what happens.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes when I do my questions, like, do you like seeing this stuff? Yes or no? It's just to kind of test the waters. And so like when I did the first like EDC outfit of the day, people really actually enjoyed it. And so when I asked like, hey, do you want to see more of this? They're like, fuck yeah, we do. This is cool. So that's why I'm starting to do it every so often.
I want more followers on my page, but not mainly just for the followers. I just want the fucking swipe up feature.
Dude, let me tell you this right now. That shit barely gets you anything.
Really? I just like the fact that you can actually put a hyperlink and they can just swipe up, cool. And it works.
It's great to have that, but the thing is, it's like, when you see people like YouTubers that do swipe up links, you think, oh, they probably get a shit ton of people heading over to their YouTube. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it does. Like it barely does.
Most of their traffic's already on their YouTube and already subscribed.
That's just like, if you think about it from this perspective, you have the swipe up link. Yeah, it's great. So you could funnel people, let's say, to the podcast YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So people can watch the episode if they don't want to listen to it. But you're watching it through Instagram's browser and not natively.
Yeah.
So you can't comment. You have to log in. Whereas on the app, you could do that. You could just comment and subscribe and all that stuff. And so it's like, yeah, like, why am I going to watch it in this browser within an app where I could just go to the actual app and watch it there? But it's because people like the convenience. Sometimes they will stick around for a little bit and then just dip.
Yeah.
Instead of going. So it kind of doesn't really work in your favor because it's like there's a lot of limitations to it. Which this is something actually like no one's ever really like talked about, at least that I'm aware of, is that you think, oh yeah, swipe up link, yeah, that's awesome, I'm gonna get a crap ton of my following to go watch my videos. Like it barely, like I sometimes check when I do the swipe ups for the podcast, dude, it probably says like 3 or 4 clicks, that was it.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot. Like,
and I always check too the analytics when I like post anything on my stories just to kind of see what people are doing. It's like every one of my friends just skip my stories. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I have like 400 or 500 views sometimes on my stories, and it's just like, yeah, a lot of people just skip it. Like, oh, fuck. And I post a lot of stories.
Yeah.
So,
I'm watching you. I'm watching you, fucking jerks. And I'm just kidding. Love you all.
But I definitely. Oh shit! I think our main camera might die. Oh. I see the battery blinking.
Oh shit! It's overheating.
No, that's the RP. But if it dies, it dies. If he dies, he dies.
It dies. It dies.
It dies. It dies. But
what is the time?
Good question. We're about 20 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. If it dies, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just do the old way, just side by side. Anyways, but that's why we have 3 cameras.
Yeah.
But yeah, like like it's just one of those things where it's like consistency is hard. It is really hard, and that's also why I'm not really consistent on YouTube, other than this.
Yeah, because that's like double the fucking work at that point.
You gotta shoot it, you gotta edit it, and then like You know, if the times I've tried vlogging, it's hard to come up with ideas for vlogs, dude.
Yeah, that's the reason why I never got into it. I mean, I could figure out the video editing part of it,
Yeah,
but it's
that's
just
why.
putting in the work of ideas and then putting in the work of how you're going to shoot it, how you're going to transition,
Exactly.
how you're going to cut it. It's a
Okay,
lot of
this-
fucking work.
I'm starting to get the jitters.
It's hitting you now.
Mhm.
You didn't even finish it yet.
I'll take it. I'll drink it tomorrow morning.
Oh, man.
Nice coffee.
Oh, and we're dead.
All right, cool.
Oh.
Main camera is now
All
dead.
right, so now we're going back and forth.
Yeah,
Let's
it's all
go.
good. But yeah, like that's why I don't really do a lot of videos at my house because again, I live with family and roommates and everyone's home because
Yeah.
of quarantine. So that's why I like doing short films every so often because it's like I'll get inspired, I'll write a script out and I could go film it at my leisure and then record audio separately
Hmm.
when everyone's not home or when it's quiet time, you know, before bed or whatever.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to worry about like, oh fuck, someone's gonna walk in my shot or this and that. So
Yeah.
so if anything, if I end up getting big on YouTube, it's gonna be because of you and this podcast because that's where all the fucking
Because that's the consistent.
because it's literally we're posting once a week.
Yeah,
every
every
Sunday.
Sunday.
And YouTube does like that, and so yeah, we'll see what happens.
And
with
we'll
that.
be going on more adventures too soon.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there'll be more YouTube content from that.
At some point, yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I
when you
guess-
have fucking 3 people and 3 cameras, someone's got to be
Well, 4
recording
cameras. 'cause
something.
I have-
Oh
I
yeah,
have
technically.
I have 2 cameras, but
So we'll have the vlogging camera, and then we'll have the us taking photos.
yeah, I know it's like one on the side, one out.
And if I end up getting a drone again, which I hope my wife's not listening.
Honestly, I kind of want a drone.
I want one again.
My only thing is like I feel there's too much regulation now.
Yeah. Well, that's why I want a small guy.
Oh, okay.
I want to get like
Yeah, because you can get around the FAA rules,
yeah.
right? If it's under a
and
certain weight.
I have my cards still. I want something small, just something that I can carry in my camera bag, and
You
I can
will be
just-
my Gabriel to like Peter McKinnon's vlogs. You'll be my drone guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
we were talking about that like in
Yeah.
the break, like build a team. I guess the other tip, if I were to like throw in a bonus one, is just don't stress about the numbers because you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have 43 and some change thousand followers on Instagram, and sometimes I stress about like how many likes a photo's getting or how many followers do I have or what my engagement and all that shit is. And a little bit it's part because of like, you know, I want to present it to brands
Hmm.
to say, hey, look, this is what the kind of engagement I get. So you could charge a little bit more money depending
Yeah.
on what they want to have you do. Or if you're going to reach out for a brand to like potentially work with them as an ambassador, like, hey, this is the kind of engagement I bring. This
Mhm.
is what I could bring to your table. But definitely don't stress about it because then it stops being fun. The whole
Yeah.
purpose of my page now is just to have fun with it. And I do still have fun with it, post whatever I want.
Yeah.
But I definitely try not to stress about it because it's like at the end of the day, they're just followers.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll put it this way for people wondering, it's like, oh, what it's like to have 43K. It's like, dude, I'm barely making enough money to get by, and I'm grateful for any little amount of like opportunity for paid gigs that I've gotten through
Yeah.
the page, but I'm nowhere near like filthy rich to the point where like I could just give away cameras or stuff like that. Like, some
Yeah.
people think I have a lot of money, and it's like, no, like I say, like all the gear that I showcase, like I bought with my own money. I worked really hard to save that money.
Yeah.
I bought some stuff on credit, which I'm still paying for. But my point is, it's like, don't stress about any of the numbers. Just have fun with it, man.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're posting just for the numbers, you're posting for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Kind of feels weird not having a main camera.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I mean, I think those are pretty solid points. Like, I definitely want to do a separate video on it, kind of go in a little bit more detail because people have been asking me for like one-on-one sessions. Believe it or
Yeah.
not. I've had like 7 people ask me,
Oh wow.
like, hey, how much would you charge to like mentor me? I was just like, I mean, I never really thought of it. And I mean, maybe I could do a Patreon and do like a tier where it's like, hey, this
Yeah.
much is gonna get you a one-on-one time with me. But I've even asked people like, okay, like if I were to do that, like, what do you want to see? Because a lot of people just say like, oh, I want you to mentor me and I'll pay you. But it's like, okay, well, but what do you want to learn? And they
Yeah.
don't even know because I don't know what I have an idea.
Yeah.
And if I want to say like, if anything, Adrian's kind of a product of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adrian, you're totally a product now. See product photography.
Yep.
But you know, Adrian's kind of a result. Where he's at right now with his skill level and everything is kind of a result of like me kind of like teaching him stuff along the way. He did a lot of the work himself, but like I still chime in when he asks me like, "Hey, how do you do this?"
Yeah.
You know, because I like teaching, I like mentoring people, I like passing on what I know onto somebody else, and then seeing them grow into a capable creative or photographer or whatever. And that's, I guess, the equivalent of like a proud parent. But yeah, like I definitely feel like I do have a skill for it. I just don't really know how I would craft it into like a lesson plan.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It's maybe that's something I'll think about. But
Yeah. We should probably get into like also what would we probably don't have enough time on this episode,
Yeah.
but maybe something for like a YouTube video or whatever. But how do you think it's gonna Instagram's like new possible rules are gonna affect everything?
Over the reposting?
Yeah.
I mean, here's I'll say this. I've had pictures of mine reposted without my permission and like by smaller accounts and like passing as like either me or like other photographers I know that they'll just rip the photos off of our pages and say that they took them. And I've had to talk to a couple of them like, hey, look, if you're gonna post my work, credit me. I don't give a shit if you use it, just credit me. Because you know you didn't take it, I did. You're not the one that actually went out in the fucking rain. Because one of my popular photos from last year was a shot of the EOS R with the 85 in the rain, just completely drenched.
Oh man!
And that photo got reposted so many times by a lot of the gear pages that helped me grow the account over the year. But a lot of other people stole the image, and I do stole in air quotes.
Yeah.
They stole the image and didn't credit me, and then like some of my other friends that have also had images taken from them found it on random pages, or it just would pop up on their Explorer, and they're like, hey dude, this is your photo. So I would go and talk to the person like, hey, either delete it or tag me. Like, what do you want to do? So in a way, if they're stealing your work and they still don't like credit you, then yeah, I think it's a good thing that Instagram's doing that.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good topic for next week's episode.
Okay.
So thank you guys so much for watching.
Right.
I was going to look at that camera, but instead.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, Stone Cold Stunner, that subscribe button. I've been obsessed with Stone Cold Stunner for a while. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere you can hear your podcasts. Follow me on Instagram at DLoVisuals and
Manny Besro.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Cheers.
Salud. Bye.